Go ahead and get the special meeting order.
Trustee Whiteburn.
Yes.
Trustee Finley.
Yes.
Trustee Sheets.
Yes.
Trustee Sims.
Yes.
Trustee Barnes.
Yes. Excuse me. As trustees had an opportunity to look over the Donahue agreement for bidding, contract sewer line. Is there any discussion? I need a motion, yea or nay, to go into a contract and agreement with Donahue, agreement for bidding and contracting for sewer lining for $12,500.
Make a motion, yea?
I'll second.
Trustee Finley.
Yes.
Trustee Barnes.
Yes.
Trustee Sims.
Yes.
Trustee Whiteburn.
Yes.
Trustee Sheets.
Yes. Number 4, public works generator. Anybody here want to explain that? Or does anybody need any explanation?
I don't know anything about it. Generator go out or something, I'm assuming?
Yeah,
I don't know either.
It needs, a repair.
It needs a new controller and air filter.
Maintenance.
Get my phone open, that's all it is. It was for, oh, you got one? Here.
No, that's right. Here it is. Buckeye Power.
2009-3489.
Air filter, controller, miscellaneous terminal ends with the freight charge. Unit needs a new controller and air filter. Is what it boils down to. For a total of $2,934.89. Any questions? Comments? Need a motion to purchase from Buckeye Power Sales, materials needed to repair the generator, public work.
I'll make a motion.
Trustee Sheets.
Yes.
Trustee Finley.
Yes.
Trustee Whiteburn.
Yes.
Trustee Barnes.
Yes.
Trustee Sims.
Yes.
Number 5, Moran Economic Development. Tiffany, would you like to?
I think Lori.
Lori.
Well, it's just that the website proposal that we approved last month, we needed to yes or no to those 3 items that I just gave you,
So we need to pick an option.
if you want anything. So like, you want option 1, which is the whole analysis of development.
National chains with a high likelihood of being interested.
Being interested in locating the area based on brand preferences, demographic, proximity, competing locations.
So the fee is $500.
I would say no, because it says on here they're normally not included on an economic development for a website. But are rather used to assist staff and elected officials. So I would say don't put it on the website. Is that what this is for? Correct?
Say that again, I couldn't hear you.
It says on here it's normally not included on the website, but rather used to assist staff and elected officials. So I would say don't put it on the website.
Well, we're not putting it on
Is that
the
what it's
website.
for?
It's just an add-on service. So basically what they're saying is you wouldn't put this onto your website.
Yeah,
We use
because
it ourselves.
Yeah, not other people.
Okay.
But yes, I would say yes.
To send our economic development information to these places and say, I'm located here,
Well,
please.
Yeah.
the way I'm taking it is, they give you a list of
The likelihood of people.
hospitals
Mhm.
The
that
best
may
chicken
come to your area. Personally, I think that'd be a good idea. Honestly, because I'm reaching out to people, but if they have a list that, a compiled list and our demographics fits that list, I think it would be a very helpful tool to use.
We need a motion on each one of the 3.
Just depends on
Or we just do one of the 3, or?
Does anybody have any questions on any of the 3?
Yeah, go through all of them, if you get, yes,
I was just catching up here, Mike, I was trying to.
No,
read it earlier.
Asking the question.
the printable pro-night promotional brochure.
Big spring, you might have too.
I mean, personally think all of that too. I don't, if we're trying to get business here, then
Look,
what's,
let's go ahead and get a motion on option one.
motion for
Anybody wanna make a motion on option one?
Say
Yeah.
yes to all of them.
Second.
Okay, your name?
Trustee Wagner.
yes.
Trustee Finn.
Yes.
Trustee Sheets.
Yeah.
Trustee Sim. Yes. Trustee Barnes.
Yes.
If anybody can't tell, my head's clogged up there, but. Option number two, approval promotional brochure, I think a lot of the stuff that's in this, possibly this brochure is gonna be part of our website as far as,
Mhm.
so, but I need a motion here today for option number two.
I would say yes. Make a motion for yes,
Yes,
because it's gonna be a PDF file, we can print them off if we want.
Mhm.
second,
I'll second.
Trustee Wagner.
Yes.
Trustee Barnes.
Yes.
Trustee Sim. Yes. Trustee Sheets.
Yeah.
Trustee Finn.
Yes.
And the last one basically is gonna show us, give us information to give to somebody that, how far are people coming to travel here to purchase whatever they have.
that'd be good, that's good information, especially trying to run business in there with somebody that's gonna study on it.
Yeah.
I would like to make a motion yay for option three, if there's no discussion.
I'll second. Trustee Wagner.
Yes.
Trustee Sim. Yes. Trustee Barnes.
Yes.
Trustee Sheets.
Yeah.
Trustee Finn.
Yes.
So we'll go with all three of them. And for all of them. Ryan's quick tip application.
I got mine to work.
Alright. Handouts, you want those? Alright, so if anybody doesn't know me, I'm Ryan Quick, I own multiple businesses in Tilton, and the owner of the senior housing development over by Trustee and behind Toyota. Approximately 10 years ago, we built our first commercial building that houses Revive Carlos that we just recently did the build out for Horizon Health. And at that time, we started building the senior apartments. We did get 2 buildings done past couple of years. I built a couple more. The cost of those apartments has continued to rise dramatically. And actually, we went back and it's almost double from when we originally started to build. So on the first page, I just wanted to, on the handouts I gave you, the red area that's highlighted is actually the development area that I'm speaking about. The numbers that are listed there, 1, 2, 3, 4, those are the current buildings that are there, okay? The second page that you'll see, 1, 2, 3, 4, doesn't have a structure there. Those are the ones that are currently built. And the remaining there is the rest of the entire development. Back 10 years ago, we put some of the infrastructure in, not all of it. Right now, to get just the infrastructure, just basics, is $710,000. Between the roads, the foundations, everything, I'm just shy of a couple $1 million just for that portion of it. Entire development cost, minimum 7 million, upwards of 10 million. And the reason for the difference is bare bones gets me the structures, gets the roads and everything put in, but I would really like to get, my goal for this was to originally put in community center for the residents and really kind of make it, look, nobody really wants to go to a, in-home care service. They don't want to go to a nursing home. I want to give people the ability to still live independently in one of our apartments, but then still have in-home care services. So I'm working with Horizon Health to kind of develop those out and see if we can give them different levels of care at home and not have to go nursing home and keep their costs down. So we're looking at doing cleaning services, even with the spa, they can come down, we can do haircuts for them. We're doing that for a couple of residents right now. So try to make it easy for them. Third one, you're gonna see, third page, see now renting. Basically, we're non-inclusive. Okay, so we pay for everything for the tenant. They have one fee, and we pay electric, gas, water, sewer. I even pay the TV, I pay the internet, so they have no cost. After, the rent covers everything. Just a few pictures of the interior. We do everything top notch. I think if anybody's been down my development, we take very good care of everything. We do include appliances as well. We have ADA units, so we've got roll-in showers. It's easy for people to get around, and walkers, wheelchairs. Last page. Sorry for the picture, it's a gloomy picture. This is one of the first buildings that we built. This is basically one of our units before it was landscaped. So each new building that we're going to construct is going to be 3 units in each building. And they're all going to be 2-bedroom, 1 bath. The 2 end units are what I call the standard size. Those are about 1,300 square feet. And the middle units are pushing about 1,600 square feet, roughly. Again, we pay for everything. We do include appliances in this. We handle everything for them. If the light bulb goes out, you're calling us for a light bulb. And a lot of people chuckle, but we put in the LED discs. So if one goes out, it's not just going screwing in the light bulb. We're going and just replacing that. We do have in every room fan and stuff, light bulb goes out. Most tenants, if they're able, they do it. But seriously, if it goes out, call us, we're taking care of it. One thing I do pride myself on is not only do we take care of, keep our things in good condition, I take very good care of my tenants. You can go to any of my tenants right now. If they call, sometimes they call me 8 o'clock at night. Hey, my internet's not working. Guess you're probably going to see me at 8 o'clock at night because I want them to feel comfortable that if it bothers you enough to call me at 8 o'clock at night, it bothers me enough that I need to go fix it. So a lot of times you're going to see me, if you call me that late at night, you're going to see me that day. New development, we talked about the community center. At the $7 million range, which is our bare bones, I cannot get the community center built. The cost is so significant that the rent that I'm charging now is going to have to go up because I cannot support, the development at the current rent levels. But what I would like to do is try to get everything done together because then I can offer those additional amenities. So they're getting more for an increase in their rent. So they're getting better value. I've worked with Tiffany quite a bit over the past couple weeks, and I'm in a unique situation. Our TIF district that I'm in is running out before my development would be completely done. So I would not be able to get the full TIF benefits. So in discussions and working with Tiffany and everybody else, we've come up with a solution. And Tiffany, do you want to describe it, or do you want me to go ahead and?
Doesn't matter. You made it, no?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's in TIF 1, which expires at the end of 2027. He's also in the enterprise zone. He can't get the benefit of the enterprise zone tax abatement unless he's not in the TIF anymore. So we can provide him, we could put so much toward this project, whatever you guys decide. And then after the project, after the part that we're going to help him with is complete, we would pay him and then we would remove him from TIF 1. And then he could get the benefit of the enterprise zone for the remainder of the 10 years or whatever.
So basically my construction is going to take 1.5 to 2 years. If like at the community center, you know, I'm pushing maybe a little bit farther. Overall goal, I'd like to end up, you know, gating the community and doing some more beautification there in the area. However, what I'm asking for with the help of the TIP funds is to get me that bare bones, that $7 million. And then if I can, you know, if everything works out, I want to go ahead and be able to put that community center in right away. But that's where I need the village's help in getting this. And you guys have been a tremendous help over the years. We've been good partners, and that's one of the reasons that I chose Tilton originally, is because you guys help support.
Tim, well, when I spoke to you earlier, you had reached out to a bunch of people to make sure that
Yeah.
everything was good with what we were talking.
I've talked to Dave Westner, I've talked to Logan Cronk with the city of Danville, who's the enterprise zone administrator. Who else did I talk to? Oh, Jake at Moran Economic Development, and everybody's pretty confident that our attorney, first of all, said, the enterprise zone is clear. It says you can't be in both to get the real estate tax abatement, but by the time this project is done, our TIF will have expired and he will not be in the TIF anymore. He'll only be in the enterprise zone, therefore making him eligible for that benefit. I think this is a really good project. I think it'll bring people to town. You know, it's gonna raise our population by at least 60 people if he builds all of this.
And in Illinois, if you keep your population growing, that'd be great.
So I have had a wait list over the years, and pretty much as soon as somebody moves out, I've got somebody else that's going in. I've had 2 residents that have had to leave to go to a nursing home. And I will tell you, both of them within about a month and a half called me, said, Brian, can I come back? And unfortunately, you know, had already filled the units. But after they got to the nursing home, they found out that they didn't get the service that they thought they were going to be provided. You know, they went from paying $2,000 for an all-inclusive to now paying $5,000 or $6,000 at the nursing home. So my goal is to offer those additional services like they can get at a nursing home, but still live independently and stay there longer and get them at a much discounted price compared to where they're at the nursing home level. So I appreciate your guys' support, and if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer.
So are we saying that the only way Tilton benefits from this is people moving in?
So you will
Well, I
get,
mean,
We make no money off of it, we take in nothing,
no tip dollars.
Well, whatever they spend here.
well,
And
so I did some research.
Possible population growth, but we have one facility.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
Thank you,
saying.
The population.
the only benefit we have from it is people moving in.
Sales tax dollars in the area. So I did some research.
One more thing real
Sure,
quick. We do get extra money for motor fuel tax for our population. We get extra cannabis tax for our population. And I think maybe use tax. But I mean, it's not gonna be dramatic, but yes. Go ahead.
So I looked up, because I did a search for Vermilion County. So what I did was I said, what does the average person generate in sales tax dollars in a year for the area that they live in? It was $1,500. So if you take 1,500, instead of using 60 people, I used 75 because I can have anywhere between 50 to 100. So I used average of 75. So it breaks down to about $10,000 a month in sales tax revenue. So it's about $120,000 a year.
And
But
what,
that was in 2022 when I looked at it.
and what kind of money do you make off of it?
Off of the development.
Yeah.
So that's a good question. So how much do you pay for our home? Just rough estimate.
Right now, probably around 500 a month.
Yeah. So the reason
Well,
I
that's-
asked, that because I am an all-inclusive, a lot of people hear that $2,000 and they're like, oh, he's making 2,000.
Well, no, I get you're paying the
Right.
power, the water, the sewer.
Yep.
You
By the
know.
time I take
But that-
insurance, property taxes, after the entire development is done, my monthly revenue income will be around $15,000. That's no maintenance included in there. If washing machines goes out, I got to repair a roof. Those
Do you
things.
have maintenance people or you just do?
I have a full-time maintenance, yes.
So that's
I own
not
multiple
counting paying
businesses.
your maintenance people.
I have multiple businesses, so I have maintenance.
Oh, so you have a
Yeah.
maintenance business. Gotcha.
So
And then the
I own
other
Charlotte's.
services are like, for instance, you said the hair cutting, whatever, those are
Yes.
like probably individuals that come in to do that?
Yes, so we actually own a salon, but then the goal would be is we can give so they rent space from us. You know, we just rent the space. So they could go down and provide the service to the tenant. So then
Okay, I got what you're saying.
yeah, we could do meal plans. So it could be, you know, Carla's, it could be Charlotte's, it could be,
Yeah,
you know, if I contracted with Riches and said, hey.
it's not something you're benefiting from.
So I do own Charlotte's, so which is a restaurant.
Is there anything you don't own? It's a
I
question.
work a lot, you know? I'm a workaholic. So those are services that are gonna benefit the tenants as well, though. Keeps them there, they don't have to travel all over the place.
Yeah,
He's
it's just questions I've got.
No, it's,
Would you mind saying how much this, for you to get this developed? We know you don't have this money in your pocket. What are you looking at? What are you looking at in payments?
my payment a month is $60,000 a month.
That's right now.
No, that's with the development, yes. So my payments right now a month on the commercial that I own, plus the apartments, are roughly 20-some thousand.
You'll have 80 yet.
So
Is that 20
in
and 60?
20s and 60, it comes out to like 64,000.
You're a businessman. I mean, you're in,
So I'm gonna be honest.
you're in it to make money. I mean.
I'm in it to make money, but I never would have thought that I would do a development this size. I don't have the money to go just do it.
Can we have a contract when I get too old, I get a little for free?
That would be bribery. That's bribery, we can do that.
On a joke.
I'm taking a risk, but I took a risk when I did the first development. I was given an opportunity it was an unheard of opportunity, and I don't mind telling you, the bank that owned the property at that point in time, there was another development that was supposed to go there. They contracted us to clear it off. We cleared it off. That fell through. So the bank called me because I had asked what was going there. The bank called me and said, hey, were you interested in that property? We'll go ahead and sell you the property if you're interested. And I said, they want $300,000 and some for the property at the time. I'm like, I don't have any use for the property. Talking to them, they offered me $1 million at a very aggressive rate. And I looked at my wife and I said, we're never gonna have this opportunity again. So I took the opportunity. I started doing the building. Gaming early on was very lucrative. Gaming has fallen off substantially compared to where it used to be. We found a very good niche with the seniors, as I don't have a lot of things getting tore up. I don't have people going in destroying my property, but I take very good care of them. I'm a preventative maintenance guy. If something needs addressed, I take care of it right away, because if I take care of my property, it's gonna end up taking care of me. That's the way I look at it. But it is costly to do that. I do not make a ton of money. For me to do this with the bank, I can tell you I've spent more time with the bank in the past month going over my financials and doing this, and the only way it is going to work is with support. And I wish I had the money just to go around and do. I don't. I have strong capability. I feel confident that I can make it work, but it's a big risk for this amount. So I'm going to be borrowing $6 million. I'm putting up some of my assets that I own for collateral against this. So I'm taking a big risk. If I do not fill them right away, I have holding costs. As we're building, I'm going to have over $2 million before I even have a structure. And I'm paying interest on that $2 million every month. So
That's
It's gonna be
good
great.
information for us, I mean.
yeah, I'm not here just to try to get them. I just
Right.
have them.
Yeah.
The biggest reason I want to get it all done is because I have tried to do, a building or two at a time, and it just keeps doing this. And the cost just keeps getting more and more. So as the costs continue to go up, my rent has to go up so I can support those, everything that I have to pay. Because when I'm paying $60-some thousand a month, if I don't have that coming in, I can go down really quick. So talking to the bank, they wanted me to do this many years ago, and now I kick myself in the butt for not doing it. I tried to negotiate the best pricing I can to get a discounted price based on volume. So, I went to Kirshner's who I'm buying my trusses and, my lumber packages and stuff. Like, hey, if I build 11 of these buildings, these structures at one time, can we get discounts from the suppliers to help bring the cost down? So that I've negotiated as much as I possibly can to get down to that baseline of $7 million. My contractors, I've got great contractors, did the same thing. I'm like, hey, if we can get you, it costs me more to piece it. Like I have somebody come in and do all the underground for the next 2 buildings. Well, guess what? They leave and they got to come back. They got to tie in stuff again. Now they can just go in, get the whole project.
How many people are usually working on the project at one time?
So we do it in phases. So like we'll have all the underground, the plan would be to have all the underground done. So all the utilities put in the ground, roads, foundations, and then we'll have framers come in and stick frame. And then after the stick framing gets done, we'll be drying it in. So we'll have the roofers come in. As the roofers are in there, then we're going through the interior with drywallers and.
I'm just thinking how many people will be in town who might eat at a restaurant and things like that.
They all do. I mean, throughout the entire project, probably 20, if not more. I mean, Ribio's be there with 5 guys, and the next thing I know, he's got 30 guys on the job
Right.
site. Just
Yeah, I gotcha.
We're using a lot of local, like, tell me, using Ribby.
using Ribby. I'm using Majondra Plumbing. They're from Danville, surrounding area.
That's what we use.
I use RC Electric for electrical. These are guys that I've worked with for a long period of time. They treat me fair, and I'm going to be honest with you, some of them aren't the cheapest, but I know that they're going to do a good job, and I do not have to worry about if something is screwed up, they're coming back and fixing it. And that's big to me, because if I go get somebody that I don't know, I don't want to be fixing a lot of things after the fact. It's going to cost me more.
Yeah. And that's good, there's a lot of local
Yes.
businesses.
All of my, everything that I'm purchasing is local. I think the only thing that that's coming from Champaign is the brick. And we used to go to Leverance, and when they got bought out or sold out, whatever happened there, they transferred all their business over to the brick company and Atlantic Brick in Champaign.
What's your recommendation, Jeff?
Well, Moran recommended $20,000 to $35,000 per building. I think that whatever we award, I think that we should put towards infrastructure so that we could allocate the money and pay him when the infrastructure, roads, sewers, electric get done.
And if I can hit on that just for a minute, it's all private. So Tilton doesn't maintain anything. So that's a cost that, I have to prepare for as well. So as things break, as I do pay to put concrete in versus asphalt just because I want the longevity. I don't want to have to be fixing and doing maintenance constantly on it. So I do pay to put in, more expensive items, but something happens underground, it's on me. Something happens, plowing wise, it's on me. I pay for all that. The village does not have to maintain any of it. So that is a cost that I always have to prepare for. I've sat here in the past couple of meetings and heard how much it costs for the sewers, and I'm dealing with that issue right now, right? On one of my commercial buildings I own until.
Okay, do you pay their sewer bill?
Yes. I pay everything one.
Do they each have a sewer bill?
Yes. They each
Okay,
have
so-
separate water and sewer.
So that'd
What
be,
about electricity? Is it all one?
I pay for electricity.
But
yes.
is it all one? Or are they all separate?
So the first 2 buildings, I did them separate,
So building, per building?
per building.
Okay,
So
not per room or per apartment?
no, so, well, per building now, before the first 2 buildings that I built, I did by unit. I was paying the entire thing, but I was looking down the road, say, 30, 40 years, what are my kids gonna do? They're probably gonna wanna, sell it at some point in time. And I didn't want them to have to split utility costs. So somebody coming in is probably not gonna want to pay utilities. I got burned on this. I mean, you guys know what your utilities bills have done over the past 2-3 years, right? I was locked into contracts. I was paying the utility bills. As the utilities went up, guess what happened? I was responsible. I was in a contract to maintain it. That was on me. I have put in the solar to help mitigate, but I had to put a large dollar amount up front because I started seeing everybody's power and everything spike. I'm the one paying the bills, so I'm trying to keep their costs down as much as possible. But if their power bills are going from, $200 a month to $350 a month, extra 150 is coming out of I didn't budget for that.
Okay, so 11 times, are there 3 bathrooms in each structure?
Yes.
Okay, so 3 separate bills. And then,
So at the
Except
end
the
of this, you'll
community
have
center?
66 apartments.
I'm trying to figure out how
Or
much we're getting
46
sewer
apartments.
fees.
Okay, so you're gonna have 46 apartments and then 2 bathrooms so a sewer bill for the community center.
Okay, but I just need to add not what's already there. So 11 times 3,
So
30,
33, yep.
33 times 40. So we would get an extra $1,320 a month minimum sewer fees. Or sewer.
Oh, okay, so it's name.
Yeah, because I think, every time you said that Tilton's got a lot of residents are older. This is a place where somebody, some residents, they can't live by themselves anymore, but
They could easily
they
transition.
could, right. And I know from what you're talking about for what the cost is, my mother-in-law was at Hawthorne for a while. It's a lot cheaper than
Yeah.
what was out there.
I have, right now, I have 3 residents that will move from Liberty Estates right now. I mean, they're ready to move. I do have some people that have lived at Autumn Fields. I have another one that's just came from Liberty Estates as well. She lived in the condo there, and the cost is much
Yeah,
cheaper
it's-
versus what they were paying.
You know what they charge over here?
At Autumn Field?
Oh, that's, yeah.
It's a service level, so I will tell you that one of the gentlemen that left my facility,
Like 3,000,
Minimum.
and I thought that was I thought that was a studio.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
do get their meals there. But I don't think they get their cable paid for, do they?
it's a menu item, so like if you need your medicine administered, you're paying for that. If you have a car, you don't get a garage, but you get a carport, and you pay for that. If you have a house cleaner come in, you pay for that. So one of the gentlemen that lived for me, he left, and at that point in time, his rent was, I think, $19.50 at that point in time. He went there, and he's one of the ones that called me back in a month and a half. He was paying over $5,000. But he got the carport, he had to have somebody come in and administer his medicine. I mean, so he had those things tacked on.
I thought when I
Minimum
heard
your-
of the studio was.
Yeah,
3
3,500 to
Yeah.
4,000, somewhere around there.
I mean, this tip is going to expire. If we need these funds allocated, or we have to give them back to the state. Like I said, I think it's a good project. My opinion.
So what are you thinking? If you go, this is, oh, 30,000 a building, that's $330,000
Mhm.
for 11 units.
So 33 apartments, 11 buildings, yes.
Yeah,
And
that's
you're,
out of the TIF, then, could we get other obligations out of that? Would that leave enough to support what we're gonna?
Well, we have 2.3.
well, you can always transfer that too, can't you?
We can transfer it to other tips. I think it has to be allocatable though, like what we're gonna pay it towards.
And you're saying that we want to, or you're proposing to pay him once the roads are put in,
Yes.
not buildings.
I would say the infrastructure. Well, you know what? That's a good point.
And I'm not please don't take it this way, but let's just say, because we've had people in the past
Yes,
that
you're
do
right.
crazy stuff, and just trying to be responsible, is that if we pay for that, and then say buildings don't go up, I'm sure they will, but
Maybe
No,
we could pay,
Here's,
How
and
can
I'm
we-
gonna tell you exactly what happened on the first one. Okay, because that came up. So there was $100,000 that could have been allocated, and it went to King Street. But that $100,000 was contingent on me building two buildings, two of those apartment buildings, and I did my commercial. I got the commercial done, and I got one of my apartments done. Some of you that know me know that I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. So when I got cancer the first time, I was not able to finish the second structure. So I called the mayor at that point in time and I was like, hey, we had a stipulation and it was put in there that if I did not finish that second building, that I had to repay the village the $100,000. So I called him up, he knew my situation, and I said, I'm on the hook to pay you guys the $100,000. And I said, I'll honor and give you guys back the $100,000. He's like, Ryan, I know your situation. Come into the board, tell them what had happened, and it's the board's decision if they want, to grant you an extension to get it done. I came in, I spoke with the board granted me the extension, I got the second building done. So I'm perfectly fine putting legal, binding language in there that if I don't get it done, that I have to refund money. The other reason which helps me that if I got the infrastructure done, I have those holding costs to get the structures up. So those holding costs are minimum at $10,000 a month on a couple $1 million. So that money would help keep me going to get the, those holding costs paid for.
How much your estimate on the infrastructure, right?
The bare bones just from Midwest was 718,000, I think it was.
it's on here,
It was like 718,
718, 170.
So if we give, Ryan 30 or whatever, somewhere in that area, that's pretty close to 50% of your
Yes,
infrastructure
yes,
cost.
yes.
That'd be my suggestion. Then you can apply for the.
So then my understanding with this, Tiffany, is that once those are allocated, then they can remove me from the TIF district, which would allow me to get the enterprise. That way I could get the tax, property tax waiver. So property taxes, just based on where I'm at right now, of course, is gonna be a moving target. It's $120,000 a year. It's substantial.
There's no doubt you got an expensive project done.
Yeah, I'm nervous, but I'm excited. It's been proven, and I think that it's gonna be a bigger benefit now that
I'll make a motion, let everybody know decide by making a motion. But any more questions before we're gonna make the motion? Okay.
I make a motion, we pay Ryan 30,000 per unit, which is $330,000.
No,
360.
based on
well,
11.
it's based on here, it says
based on
330. On Moran, that's where he's getting it from, it's 30,000 times 11 buildings is 330.
Oh, yeah, duh, what was I thinking?
Yeah, I don't know what
Sorry.
you're saying.
I thought maybe you were taking the other structures, but
But
it's.
that's what I'm
No,
saying, that's
wrong.
pretty close to 50% of
I added
his
30,000.
estimated infrastructure cost, but that's pretty fair.
No, I'm very pleased, and I even, guys, I came today, and I told Tiffany, I said, I appreciate the conversations that we've been able to have. The original reason I came here was because you guys were looking to bring business. I own multiple businesses, and all of them have come in this direction now. You're business friendly. We can sit down and have a conversation. Let's figure out how we can make it work. And I appreciate anything and everything that all of you do. And she's been going to bat for me with the attorneys and trying to figure all this out. I'm gonna do it again with the bank. the bank's got me at a hold until we figure out what's going on here, because I'm kind of close.
Well, understand, they gotta have first security.
Yeah.
I second.
Long second. Get that.
Everybody knows what's on the table?
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Mhm.
Trustee Sheets,
Yes.
trustee Thurman,
Yes.
trustee Whiteman,
Yes.
trustee Barnes,
Yes.
trustee Sims.
Yes.
Thank you guys very much.
There you go.
I appreciate you guys, and thank you, because you guys are looking out for not only the best interests of the community, but you're helping support somebody that helps continue to invest in the community as well.
Just remember this face when I get older.
Hey, Brett, I just talked to Tiffany, she'll reach out to that group again and see about that deal with Governor's Floyd.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll call him.
That one's been vacant for a
When
while.
we talked to them, they sounded really interested in it, so somewhere blue they had called you.
Yeah, because he was like, I'll call him, and I'm like,
Yeah, after the last incident, it's been vacant for about a year.
I'm probably the only one here that's been in the apartment.
I've been,
You been in it?
When I go-
Oh, yes, you've been in multiple
They make our
times.
job-
You've been on that.
They make our job a lot easier.
So actually, I need to speak with you at some point in time, because there's some things I'm trying to do to make it even easier for you guys.
Okay.
Well,
What we got next?
A friend of mine used to live there.
We got some more business to take care of here.
okay, good
Thanks, bud.
energy, this is, we get, just like we do aggregation for the community, we do this for the village, because we have higher usage, we can get a little bit better rates. He's recommending a 36-month term, at 8.441 cents per kilowatt hour. That's what, the Jared McMorris recommended.
I'll say that because I'm sure there's other people sitting there. That doesn't mean anything to me.
Oh,
I have no idea what that means, so just saying. I'm sure
okay, so.
everybody else is the same. way.
Okay, let me read you his email. Okay. Okay, so he says, we are currently with Direct Energy at a rate of 7.122. The Ameren rate to compare it to right now is 11.770. We fully expect Ameren to increase over 15 cents per kilowatt hour this summer, which they've done. My recommendation is a 36-month term with Nextera, or not Nextera, Nordic. He said he made an error. Let me know what the council decides.
What's that rate? What now?
Well, we have 7.122 for all the village-owned buildings. The lowest rate they found for us through Nordic was 8.44 right now. Well, I mean, you could do a 12-month term at 8.219 or 24-month at 8.306.
That's village wide.
That's village-owned buildings.
Just a village bill.
Because we have, not everybody can get these rates here because we have a higher usage than most.
I see.
So the suggestion?
36 months, like they said. I mean, they've never really, I don't feel like they've steered us wrong before. Cass, I mean, she pays the power bill, so, yeah.
I don't see it getting any cheaper.
No.
They've gone up a lot.
So then we've got to make a motion?
Bill.
I was just waiting to see.
We turn half the lights off and make a motion.
Or wear sweaters.
Need a motion, Jared A for good energy.
A motion, yay.
I'll
36
second.
a month. Trustee Sims. Yes. Trustee Sheets.
Yeah.
Trustee Thurman.
Yes.
Trustee Whiteman.
Yes.
Trustee Barnes.
Yes.
We got TikTok solar.
You guys are finally up.
TikTok.
Wake up.
So you led right into it with this energy talk and discussion, so essentially that, what we're here to propose, we've been through, jumped through a lot of hoops with looking at sites, So we put together a few options for adding solar to a few of the municipal facilities. Basically, long story short with this is what solar is going to do for the municipality is it's going to keep that energy cost down. It's going to reduce that cost. You're gonna, basically because you're gonna produce your own energy. So these systems will run for 30 or more years. The existing proposals we have put together as of now, it looks like it's cutting your energy cost, your energy bills in the study we did with gathering current historical energy bills for the past 12 months. You're paying about $70,000 a year in energy costs. So with adding solar to a few of these sites, that brings that cost as of current, with current designs, down to about $29,000. So it's cutting your energy costs drastically. And then that's just at 4 locations. So what we've proposed, as of current, and you guys have some more data that Tiffany had sent to you on your iPad, with detail. This document, she just made a copy for you guys. This is just an overview of all 4 sites, okay? So what you're seeing here is you've got the city hall, you've got the community center, public works, and then the wastewater treatment. So each of these systems together come out to about, to make this picture short and try to conserve time here, we're looking at about 85% of these system costs paid for by current and available incentives. So if we added all these systems, it's about a $638,000 project. Net cost after incentives come back is $90,497. Now, recognize these are estimates. We have not jumped through every hoop to confirm that these are feasible. We would do what would be called a project development agreement. That would cost you guys about $3,780. What that allows us to do is jump through the rest of the hoops to see that the utilities are going to allow this. Because what's happening with the utility is the lines get full of solar, they only allow so much backfeed on their lines. So if you don't get solar and these lines fill up, you're out of luck forever. Okay, so the big picture though is the incentives available. One of them comes from this 2022 Inflation Reduction Act. So that allows non-tax-paying entities, municipalities, to recoup what would normally have been a federal tax credit. So it becomes a direct payment from the federal government versus a tax credit. That is 40% itself. So all these tax credits are slated to go away. There are drastic changes coming in July of this year, with them completely going away in 2020 into 27. Is it into 27? So I'm jumping around here. I had a presentation, but I'm just trying to follow my own here. So if the big thing we came here for too was it seemed like there was some questions from folks, and we wanted to just show up and address them directly. Any kind of questions, thoughts, concerns that we can answer for you. I'm trying to conserve time here, so I'm jumping through this. But this is the page document you have in front of you on paper. That's just a summary of all the other pages we have. So we've got full-blown 30-year cash flows for each of these sites. We've got we've studied the utility bills for each site, and that's why we feel confident. I would say after we go through a project development process, we could come in and say, oh, we can reduce this size by a couple $1,000, or we might need a couple $1,000 on a site. So again, our process would be project development agreement, and that takes all the roadblocks or hurdles out of the way.
Did you guys go over there and look at the wastewater plant after that meeting?
Yep, we actually
Talked about moving the fence to get more.
Yep, we actually modified the design for that.
Okay, Chad and TJ talked about this, and they want to bulldoze some of those trees and move the array. And they want Public Works, if they go through, they want that to be on the road.
Okay, it's easy enough.
That was one of my first things. I'm not keen on the ground mount stuff.
Well, what?
The sewer plant is
What's with the ground mount, what's the, concern?
Well,
Just so I know.
one,
so
so
we know
Public
better.
Works is right out there in the middle.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that.
That's other
Yeah.
than sin, you know,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
And the reason we changed that is because it was asked to not roof. So we have a proposal with it on the roof already. It's literally a couple $1,000s different than the current one. So it's minimal change.
And Bill, we just put that concept out there. I did that backfeed to the building out like 150 feet, so we could literally move that to the far west, like you said, in front of the other building, if we wanted to consider that location. Or like we said, the roof, we had a proposal put together for that as well, so.
Was there a reason we
Well,
didn't?
it sounds like they're not, they prefer on the roof. Yeah, it makes no difference to us.
Does somebody not want another roof? What was the point of not having another roof?
Well, your difference of cost is about 50-50. You know, your proximities are there. Roof's a little bit slower labor installation, process. You gotta go through structural engineering, so the PDA, cost for that would go up $2,400, so other than getting through structural.
I think the ground mount
Did
produces a little more power.
you say something about a structural person coming in to make sure?
Yeah, that's what it is.
We will come in, get a lift up there, take all the measurements, send that off to the structural engineer, they'll review it and either stamp it or deny it, but.
That did add about $2,400
Yeah,
to the
$2,400
project
plus.
development, because with it on the ground, we don't need structural engineering. But if put it on the roof, we need that, and that $2,400 goes straight to structural. There's no money in this project development for us.
I just wondered
It was
what the
private.
residents will think if we got an ordinance that they can't put them on the ground, they'll put them on the ground.
Well, you can put them on the ground, you just have to get it approved. I guess we'd have to go through zoning.
So what does the ordinance say as a current with the ground?
You have to get a special use permit.
So there's no other than
Side
that?
or backyard, basically.
Okay,
It's gotta be approved.
okay.
Yeah, so we were proposing a ground mount out in the yard over here, boring under, making the interconnection. We also do have a proposal for the roof. But you're limited in space up here. We can get a lot more offset. It's a better financial investment on the ground here. But at the community center, then we do have it on the east side and the west side of that roof. Again, I think, Bill, you mentioned, is that a place, is the operating hours enough to consume that? So if that be part of the PDA, we would get the hourly data from Ameren and then dig into that with Energy Tool Base to see, if we size that right and if these numbers are good. So that's part of that process. And then on the wastewater side, we will have to come up and get Ameren out here and open up the CT cabinet to see if there's spare lugs for interconnection. So all the pricing here, if you would like, we could send you the roof proposal for the Public Works, so she can share it with them. That's probably, usually my numbers are within
It was within.
So they're within reason.
Yeah.
But like on the wastewater side over here, that CT cabinet, you've got a backup generator, so we have to be in that CT cabinet. If there's no spare lugs for us to interconnect in, if there's spare, holes in the plates, and Ameren will turn a blind eye and we can bolt our own lugs in there, which they don't like, we can do that. If they say change it out, that could be 10, 20 grand adder to the price. So that's, everything's done up to that point. So that's what the project development gets us the information through structural, through all the interconnections. We'll start basically the plan sets and pre-engineering to send to Ameren for your interconnections, and then Ameren will do a 34-day review upon our submission. And they'll tell us, yeah, you can do 20 kilowatts here and 80 kilowatts, they'll tell us if those sizes are approved. So you gotta get through that before we can final price it, so.
You prefer ground mount?
Well, it makes no difference to us, frankly, when we do about 50% of our projects are on a roof or ground. It's a preference for the client. My thing is long-term maintenance, getting on a roof. I have to send 2 guys up, we do a lift. This last Friday, was it? We just hit 20 years in business, and I do not have one lost time or reportable accident. So we're very conscientious about safety.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I would rather live in a cardboard box the rest of my life than have one of my guys get hurt. We just are insane about it. So we get a lift, we don't get, so repairing something, if there is a problem, is a little more expensive,
So with that being said, you talk about maintenance and you talk about repair, things like that, I see dollars.
Yeah.
Is that included? Is there some sort of, this is just installing the solar, there's no maintenance, no repair or anything included with this?
2-year warranty,
2-year
pretty
warranty?
much turnkey. And, anything that's, just a normal failure, I mean, if it's a lightning strike or vandalism or something, obviously, we're not gonna pay for that, but
Does insurance cover that?
Yes,
yes,
I
and you
talked
will,
I emailed them.
yeah, you want to get it insured.
Yeah.
Your modules, even with hail, we just put it on a residential system in Diedrich in probably November. And he called me saying, you need to take this back off because my roof was destroyed, but there's no damage to any of the panels. So they're very durable. We can lay it on here and jump on. They're 30-year production life. But,
Are they made in the US?
no.
Is there
Well-
any made in
I'm
Europe?
just asking the question.
That's a very good valid point, because that directly relates to these tax credits or available
Yes.
tax credits, because there's a, what's called FIAC, foreign entity of concern. So as of January 1, we have to produce, any system we produce or provide has to have 40% of the equipment produced in a non-FIAC entity country, meaning Iran, North Korea, there's a list
What is
of
it,
them.
foreign something enemy?
Foreign entity of concern.
Yes.
Yeah. FIAC.
So for us to get that, it has to be me over there?
No, it cannot.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait a
Yeah, so
minute.
that's the wrong direction.
So, yeah, so like in this building
No,
here,
I was about ready to, no, that wouldn't have been him.
for all 4 sites, all the racks are made USA. For here, being single phase, your inverters and power optimizers are made USA. The modules are assembled in Texas that I'm proposing here, but the issue with that is, by the time we got through all the studies and all the engineering, if I came back to you and said, here's the final price, and you guys said, let's do it, by the time I call and say, hey, you got a container of panels, they might be out. So I might have to find something else. So panels are just panels, they're all the same, basically. We don't get too excited about it. We try to stick to about 3 or 4 different of the main brands. But every module that we buy is tier 1, and that's what you're concerned about. That's just the latest technology in manufacturing, and that they're bankable on big megawatt solar farms. So, but yeah, we're made USA guys. Everything we try to buy as much made USA as we can. So,
And you guys have been in business 20 years.
yeah, we just hit 20 years. Now, our installation company is Powell Electric. My brother Matt runs that. Dad started that in 1980, so I've been doing electrical work since I was like 5th grade. Dad was dragging me to home barns. So,
Where's this ground mount going for, you said something about they were talking about?
They wanted
Wow,
to
trees.
remove some trees behind the sewer plant because they don't want to cut into the fence. So they want to kind of move it back. And I don't really think,
East of the tower was my understanding.
yeah, I don't think it's gonna be too visible, is it?
no, you won't see it back there behind the building.
Well, I can show you a quick concept of at least what we propose. Now, if we can get some more space out there, you're better off.
That's what they're gonna
I
do
mean,
is
that
cut
would
down
be
some
the
trees.
goal would be to see if you can get some more space.
Yeah,
You know.
Here's what that's proposed to look like.
After we talked, I found out
You
the
see the fence of the tower.
dump's a little bit to the north,
And I've got copies.
Where the dump was I talked to you about last time you was there.
Yeah.
This
is all in here.
That second.
That's all she put out. But yeah, so it sounds like we would move that.
No.
So clear trees and not
No,
have to
you
go
want
into
that,
that.
because I want to say it to the board. Go ahead.
So, but if we can get more out there, it's better, but I think that you can see offset percentage on the wastewater. We're replacing about 55% of the building. So if we can get your max you're gonna get is
There's-
70, 80% replacement.
That's what I said.
All policies. But
But
yeah, that's, but that's part of the project development agreement is jumping through the rest of these hoops to see that everybody's satisfied with what we're proposing.
What is the storage, like, you get panels,
Oh, there's.
energy storage wise at each.
And that's what they said, monocrystalline.
No, these are grid tied.
Yeah, grid tied.
So
Power goes out.
grid goes down, the solar goes
Yeah.
down with it.
That must be work. I don't
Okay.
know. They said-
I know the generators.
Soon it says.
I know that.
No.
No, generators will kick
They're
on.
gonna be isolation, they're,
Right here.
be all tied in.
So this pay off.
Yeah, everything would function just like it does now with generators and that stuff for sure, yeah. And that's part of the, we need to jump through with these.
Yeah.
Oh, you turned it
Yeah,
on.
it is.
Okay.
Okay, how is the stuff?
He just got
built right now?
metal
How
here.
is
He
that
just
wired
got
all
metal.
up?
He sent him these very So.
On your piece,
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Ryan.
but any project that's under 25 kilowatts,
Okay.
that
Oh,
element, the
This
statement
is the
out
big
here
snow.
comes back in year one. So this, the
Oh, yeah.
wastewater treatment plant here,
This is a net cost.
that's
After
paid
we
over
get all
7
the-
years, so that 45.
So it starts out here, and that's what we get
That's
back.
7 years.
Over, it's gonna be over
Well,
like
every-
70.
the rest of these are paid out
The
now.
only one that's gonna be longer
And
is I think the Westwater treatment plant because it has a higher usage. Now, I did get another quote, but I wanna say it was a lot higher. And Eric and James told me that one of the reasons some of these companies do that, and I showed them, I shared with them, they had arrays over here and everywhere. They said sometimes they try to overdo it and, you're not gonna get much off those extra panels. And it's not really gonna cut your bill down that much more.
Yeah, there's a program called Energy Tool Base. And we put all your data in there, all your operating hours, and it'll tell us exactly your maximum size. So that's what we've done here because of the Ameren's policy. If you had full net metering, we'd go a little bigger. But we're not just selling solar panels to create kilowatt hours and have, 70% of those kilowatt hours go out to the grid. If you look at the 4 pages for each site that we're showing you, we have a concept, and then page 2 will actually show you the utility bill analysis. And in the upper right-hand corner, there's a percent there that says, what percent is going out to the grid. So when you're selling to the grid, there's a rate there. So if you're paying 16 cents a kilowatt hour here, your sell back to the utility is about 8 cents. It's about half what your actual rate is. So we're trying to find
You
out.
don't wanna overbuild for that reason.
Yeah.
You build these systems larger, you've already passed the point of return.
It's not added.
Yeah.
Well, you tell us about the capacitors and all that, the last time you were here, they put all the panels, they have a problem with it functioning.
What do you think, John?
Because it doesn't generate enough energy on this.
They won't even kick on half the time. So they don't have enough.
They don't produce shit.
So can you walk us through when everybody is ready to hear? Like for example, what does this mean? So let's go through the wastewater treatment plant and obviously you got, each. What does it mean?
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So, Mike just asked a question here about walking through each one of these. Let's just, if you go to the bottom of the wastewater treatment plant, I can walk you through each one of these numbers and that kind of it's self-repeating for each project. So, all your sites are on Ameren. The ground mount system proposed at the wastewater treatment plant, the first column there on the right of the word Ameren is 151. That's 151 kilowatts DC. That's the panels on the rack. That's annual production is 213,000 kilowatt hours a year. So your total electric bill at the wastewater plant on the next column is $53,164. We're going to cut that by about 55%, and your new solar bill will be about 23,924. Is everyone following along so far on that? Makes sense?
And this is annual.
Correct.
Yes. So your cumulative 15-year energy savings, we're escalating the utility rates at 5%. And that's, so over 15 years, you're gonna save $602,148 off your bill. Now, depending on your space you clear out, if we can go a little bigger, we will. But we'll have to get through that and see what kind of usable space is gonna be out there. So the estimated tax credit, the federal tax credit is 30%. There's a 10% bonus through the 2022
Inflation reduction.
Inflation Reduction Act that's still in effect. So as long as you start this project before July 4th, your current FIOC requirements are, we have to be at 36% of the total materials made in USA, or not from FIOC countries. After July 4th, that goes up to like 45%.
Yeah.
So it's gonna get harder to meet this for that 40, and you have to show that for that 40% tax.
It drives project costs up as well, because panels that are non-FIA, they're just bumping their cost up because they know the.
You seen when we were here the last time, and from this one, that was just pre-FIOC prices, and when we proposed that back in December, and now we've got the FIOC prices in there, so they all went up just a little bit for the FIOC, so then the estimated tax credit is $148,000. Now, we work with a company called Whitfield out of St. Louis, Doug Coker. We highly recommend you at least have a 15-minute consult with him, because their company specializes in obtaining this tax credit for municipalities and businesses. We don't get nothing on this, nothing there, just a partner that we've met over the years. And he can walk through that process with your accountant, and he'll might charge you a fee of $5,000 or something like that to do your paperwork for you. But
For all four.
well, I don't know what he charges. I don't see those, but he'll do a 15-minute free consult with you and your accountant or whatever, and look at these numbers. We'll send them these numbers and stuff, and but there's, overall, you're talking $255,000. And we had one guy said, no, I'll do it myself, and he
I had a church the year before want to do it themselves, and they may have gotten the money, but it took another couple years to get it.
So just an FYI. So then your next column, under estimated SREC is your state renewable energy credit. That's the state solar program. It's been around since about, 17, 18, and it's funded for several more years. And the details of the SREC calculations are on your 30-year cash flow page, which should be page 4 of each, it's the big spreadsheet. So, and we can be glad to go through all those in detail. That is on your DC size, that far left column, anything over 25 kilowatts AC is paid out over a 7-year period. Your first payment is in one lump sum, and then year 2, it's a quarterly payment for the next 7 years before that's paid out, okay?
Is
All
that
of
just for the
it's shown
wastewater
as
treatment
Because it's over the.
That would be the only one on this.
Yes.
on the 7 year?
So your city hall, community center, and public works, you would get one lump sum check in those amounts, usually between 12 to 18 months after you're energized, okay? And then so your total incentives for the wastewater plant add up to $354,000. And then your budget installation cost was $370,000 for a net cost of $16,199, or about a 22.5% ROI. So if you look at all 4 projects, total budget right now is about $638,000 with a net cost out of pocket of $90,000. So about 85% of the project is paid for through the incentive programs. And again, that's all in for like TikTok Energy. There is the utility bills that are covered in the PDA, or the interconnection application fees. That's spelled out in each project development agreement. There's a collateral fee and an application fee. So if you look at the 30-year cash flow page, there's a column that has a year 15, a payment coming back to you. That's your collateral fee. So the point is, on that collateral, that's kind of your skin in the game. You're going to pay per site Like City Hall's 1191. And you'll get that back after year 15. There's a state application fee of $400. And then you can just see in that bottom left box. So those fees, that's on top of our price, because those are paid to a broker, just like your energy broker you voted on. The SREC broker is gonna manage your account for 15 years. He's gonna track the production. We'll see it. The inverter companies can see your production, but the broker is gonna monitor it. They usually go between you guys and the state. So if you're down for a couple months, they'll call you and say, hey, we're not seeing any production. And then, we'll figure out what's going on if we don't catch it, so. And then after that 15 years, when you've met your power production obligations, you get that collateral fee paid back to you, okay?
The tax credit is a one-time tax credit.
Yes. And that's, with the one big beautiful bill passed last year, that's where this fiat come from. And there's some changes coming after July 4th, there's a change. Before July 4th, I think that we technically, if you put a deposit down 50% for the 5% deposit down before July 4th, you have to like 2029 to finish the job at the 30% fiat requirements. After July 4th, then you got a 45% fiat requirement in 2027. So they tightened everything up and then that 40% phases out after 27.
Yeah, at the end of 27.
Yeah.
And how many other municipalities have you guys worked with?
We finished Mount Zion last year. We did Public Works, Community Center, which is their city hall as well. We did Fletcher Park, which we did a shade cover for their water, for their splash pad. And we did they've got another Public Works building there at the park as well. So there were four projects, like similar concept as this,
Same projects here for the village of Diedrich, City of Arcola, City of Effingham,
Montrose.
St. Peter, Montrose.
I did talk to the other company. They had done one municipality.
Yeah, I would say the oldest was probably Montrose, maybe, or maybe Effingham. But these are,
Well, we've done a lot of lighting retrofit
oh,
projects.
just the solar, yeah.
Yeah, so we've done a lot of, I can't remember them anymore. But recent solar, yeah, St. Peter's coming up. Diedrich's almost typical, Zion was almost typical of this, so.
So
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think really the big picture next steps here would be you guys approving a project development agreement, which is, if we change these two from ground mounts to roof mounts, that does add $4,800 to that project development cost, which is as of current $3,780. So that would put you in that pushing $10,000 range.
And if we can is this just a standard stick-built building, do you think?
what do you mean?
Just like a standard frame, like a house? You're a carpenter,
Yeah, I would imagine it's like.
I don't think
So
Well, this has to be a bank.
If the village is okay with waiving the structural fee here, if your trusses are on 12-inch or 16-inch centers, you're gonna be fine.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's something we should do anyway.
That's fine.
To make sure. What do you guys, I mean, I guess you guys need to decide if you want to go work for.
All you gotta do is look at it, see if it trusses.
Here's my concern, I guess,
I
is
don't think you got an attic here.
Yeah, we do.
Not that, no.
Not here, no.
Yeah, there's
This would be
there's
bolted
space
up.
above us.
Oh, there is?
I mean, is
This
it?
can
They
figure-
put them
figure-
ceiling fans in, Dick Lappin had a guy crawl through there.
What's your concern?
Just on this roof, you wouldn't want to put solar on it, because you just got rafters.
Rafters, yeah.
Yeah, we want to look at, now, if they're 2x12s on
They may be.
12-inch centers, you're fine, but if it's 4 foot, then probably not. Yeah,
my concern is that we're not real decisive around here, for one, and we don't know At different times, we have different ideas, so I don't know if putting it on City Hall or Community Center is worth it to me. I can understand definitely the wastewater, my thought behind it is just giving my opinion. The wastewater treatment plant, obviously, if we can save, we know everything goes up. So if we could save some over there and potentially save our residents from an increase in the future, makes total sense for me. I'm totally on board with the public works on top of the building. I would agree with that too. And even like you said, trying to get to the 70% was what we were trying to go to. So I don't see any reason why we couldn't, you know, if it makes sense, you know, on the roof to get to that 70%. And the same thing with, if it means take out a couple more trees for the wastewater treatment plant. You know more about that than I do. But as far as the City Hall and Community Center, I don't know if I'd want to waste potential money on that. If we decide that.
I think that's what he was discussing earlier, 'cause I made the comment about the community center, it's not like it's all the time, so.
I just don't see
And
it.
that's what we would do with community center. What we would do is we'd request hourly data from Ameren, plug it in our software, and it'll tell us, does this make sense or not? Or here's what it's gonna do for your, because we've done initial studies, don't, you know, we're probably pretty close. But it might come back and say, yeah, you know,
When I
east-west roof shows a less of an ROI as well, because they don't produce quite as much when you face east and west versus to the south.
Right.
So,
But as far as like the structural deal out there, there's no sense of taking $2,400, in my opinion, to see structurally if that could be before you know. If you're pretty close to that, then we probably don't need that, in my opinion, if we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, and I don't know what we would do there too, is if you wanted to do the PDA, to run the numbers on the operating hours in the energy tool base to see how close we are to the size and the set sellback, right? We could run those numbers like that, apply with Ameren, and that would, I mean, I'd charge you like $300 for that. And after Ameren approved it, we knew that your 20 kilowatt system was viable there, and we proved it in energy tool base, then we could come back to you guys and say, here's the actual numbers, do you want to go through structural or just forget it?
Yeah.
So we can do that.
But
We can make that TDA.
I can completely see your point. So let's say you took the monies that are slated right here for this facility and move it back here. Probably as good a return at least. It wouldn't be any less for sure. It might even be a little better because this isn't directly south facing. It's a little skewed. So
What happened?
a few percent.
If you put it on the ground out there, I mean, if you guys aren't opposed to the ground
Well,
out
I
here.
guess that's my point with the comment is that with the ground thing, we don't know, there's been a million different ideas that's been thrown around this place, as well as, you know, there's a park right there, a ballpark right there with stuff, so I don't know in the future what somebody's gonna wanna do here. So by the time you put it in back here, it may restrict us to do something that might need to be happening for growth, or if we sell the community center, who knows?
Yeah, so if that's, yeah, like I said, then if you wanted to look at the roof here, we could do the same process with the community center, just apply with Ameren, hold off on the structural until we get approved there, and then look at the numbers, and if you guys liked it.
What happens if we sell, like, the community center? If 5 years down the road, something comes up, we need to sell the community center.
So
It would increase your property value.
I know that, but I mean, with,
you're on the hook for that SREC money. So that's a 15-year contract. So if you say, hey, we're gonna build a new city hall, or you're gonna move the city hall to another location, if you just abandon the property and it just sat here, then the SREC program you're going to have to pay, say you're here, that's 5 years down the road, you're on a 15-year contract, you got to pay 10 years of that SREC contract back. And again, it's,
Only if the system were shut down. If it were still functioning and producing, you wouldn't have to pay it
It
back.
would still come back.
It would still be just like you were
okay,
working,
well,
like
yeah,
you were
if you guys
in.
just use it for storage and just let the
Well,
kilowatt hours
well,
go.
But his point, if we sold it,
If you sold it, the
Okay,
SREC
sorry.
contract goes to the new owner. It's a transferable contract. So
Um,
so if you guys would do one of these projects, the SREC brokers, if you're gonna sign a contract with us to construct it, at the end of it, we're gonna say, thank you. And during that process, you guys are gonna have to pick, probably you to sign all or mayor to do all the project paperwork for the broker. We fill everything out, you just sign it, we send it in, we manage all that till the end of the project. Once that happens, then you're gonna communicate direct with that broker. And so in there, there's a 50-page contract plus or minus that has like death, divorces, transfers of property, everything's in that contract that guards both parties for that SREC money.
So if you're this SREC money, which is, let's call it $1,000, so it's for 15 grand, basically, for 15 years.
Yeah.
To Bob's point, at 5 years, we've paid the $5,000, and then it could be transferred to the new owner, and he or she would be responsible for the 10,000.
No, you guys keep the money, the new owner just inherits the contract, and the new owner gets the collateral at the end of the 15 years. The new owner is responsible for all the operation and maintenance, everything for the terms of that contract. So that SREC contract would go with the property sale. You guys can keep the money. I mean, if you wanted to give it to the new owner as a, just a good gesture.
To his point, I think, is we're out of that obligation.
Yeah, we've
you're out
actually
of the
facilitated several property transfers, things like that. Now, we don't, because it's a third party that's actually managing that, but we've helped facilitate that, and I've seen their verbiage, and it's a full-blown transfer. It eliminates the previous owner from any responsibility or liability.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I think unless anybody's got any other questions, I'd like to make a motion then to go to the project development stage with what you asked for the numbers that you can give us from Ameren and all that stuff. With the thought process of Public Works would be on the roof, and we would clear the additional trees for the water treatment plant.
and did you say you think you can add more panels there if we have more room?
If we have space.
And that's what we're talking about, is not doing
Yeah.
it here and taking
Yeah,
it.
that would be the goal and recommendation if possible.
Just on the 2 inverters that we have there now,
Uh-huh.
we can add 2, what was it? I think another 32 panels
Okay,
on the DC side and still be in compliance with the AC output. So we can get some more production out of that
what do you think our,
if we have the space.
what do you think our reduction will go up to? It's 55% now.
Well, I mean,
You think it can get up to 70? I'm just asking.
if you have the land.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
do.
if I had unlimited land out there, the best we're gonna get you is probably 70 to 80%. And
Okay,
that's pushing that, on 80%, that'd be really pushing it. That would be that second page, that profile, I'd have to look at because you got a pretty consistent load out there. So we would push that all the way up and maybe go over a little bit, but
Give it maybe about 20%.
Yeah.
I think so if we got the ground space.
We have a motion on the table. Need a second?
That's what, the $300 study, or is that what?
Yeah.
$300 study, they talked about for
Call vote?
the,
Data,
Trustee Whiteman.
yes.
Trustee Sims.
yes.
Trustee Barnes.
Yes.
Trustee Sheets.
Yes.
Trustee Finnan.
Yes.
So we're going to do this so everybody can ask you a question. I need a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Trustee Sims.
Yes.
Trustee Barnes.
Yes.
Trustee Sheets.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm gonna
Trustee Sims.
look at
Yes.
those PDAs and probably.
Sure, okay.
We're trying to get through the.
Thank you for coming.
Just to clarify,
Where'd you guys come from?
Hold on.
Let's finish.
Adjourning.
All right.
Trustee Sheets.
Yes.
Trustee Finnan.
Yes.
Trustee Whiteman.
Yes.